Wow. What the fuck was that?
Record scratch.
Jesus Christ.
So you're wondering how I ended up here.
Whoa, everybody. Hello. We started off on a really shitty path here. By the way, did anyone order pizza? Because that was the funkiest groove I've ever heard in my life. And I think I'm going to need a mustache next time I play one of those.
Is that supposed to be a joke?
It was supposed to be a porn joke.
Oh.
I failed miserably. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Joey and Crusoe as we talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling. We just finished watching Taguchi and Kushida, which was gotta be the best match I've seen this entire fucking tournament.
Yes.
Hands down.
Well, to be fair, if we got half of that match, like if that match was half of what it was, it would be better than all the other matches in this tournament.
All right, so basically, we talked about how we did 24 episodes in a row. We all caught up or whatever.
Or 24 matches in a row.
24 matches. I'm sorry, yeah. And
although technically we only covered 20 of the 24 because we saved the last 4 for this round.
Yeah. So we just finished watching 11 matches just right now, right? 11 matches.
Yeah, because the one yesterday and then it went on maintenance.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were supposed to watch this shit yesterday, and these fuckers from New Japan decided they were going to pull the plug on our operation here and just stop us from fucking watching any of this stuff. But we had to wait till tonight, and we just finished all of it. And I got to say, everybody, if you are out there and you love Suzuki-Gun, I do not mind Suzuki-Gun. I like Taichi. I love Taka. Taka's awesome. Okay. Yoshinobu, who else is in that fucking faction that's in this tournament? I think that's it.
And Desperado.
Oh god, Desperado. Desperado and Yoshinobu are on the bottom of this fucking list of guys that are just super annoying from Suzuki-Gun. But when you've seen 8,000 Suzuki-Gun spots over and over and over again, it gets pretty damn boring at some point. And I don't want to say that about New Japan's product, but let's be fair here. This shit gets really annoying at a certain point.
And it's hard to call stuff really bad coming off the heels of that Monday Night Raw from last night.
God. Jesus Christ.
We'll get into that on Wednesday.
We'll get into that tomorrow, and I don't want to. Yeah. I'm glad I watched this. This made up for... You know what? I'd rather see 8,000 Suzuki-Gun run-ins than that piece of shit
palate
promo.
cleanser.
Oh, my Lord. Well, we're going to do May 26th, May 27th, I believe, the 28th, and the 29th. No 30th. No 30th.
Yeah, because it's 30th. Yeah.
No 30th. Tonight at 4, I believe, there's a show.
Yes.
31st. So we have stuff to look forward to after tomorrow. We'll do the WWE stuff. But if you're listening to this, you're not here for WWE shit. Thank God.
Yes.
Because if you want to listen to us vomit about that, you could tune in tomorrow. Crap. Yeah, tune in tomorrow. But let's get started with some of the stuff that happened on the 26th from the Nagano Athletic Park Integrated Gymnasium. So the first match on the card, Taichi versus Marty Scurll. Now, before going to this match, I would just like to reiterate, I actually liked Taichi going to this tournament. This was my first tournament ever for New Japan Pro Wrestling. I've never actually sat down and watched a tournament. And boy, have Suzuki-Gun ruined this shit for me. All of it. They ruined tournaments for me because of the run-ins. And
you could say they're a bunch of goons.
Anyways. By the way, Marty, Asami, and
speaking of goons,
Red Shoes.
Speaking of the goon squad.
Holy shit. The bumps that these gentlemen take.
Yeah.
Lack thereof bumps. The invisible bumps.
Yeah.
Is horrendous. Now, I'm going to complain about New Japan stuff, but it's not complaining about WWE stuff. It's a way complaining about New Japan stuff is like it's like loving something, but still, no matter what, they can't
pick it out like
they can't really do anything to change your mindset about the company because WWE is just fucking terrible all over the place. But New Japan, their house shows, I suppose they could get away with it because we're technically not supposed to see this stuff, but they put it on the air anyways. They put it on the network. So, but I guess for the moment, being a notice for future Suzuki-Gun matches, all of them, and I do mean literally every one of them with the exception of maybe Taka, that's it, will all start off with beat-ups. Yeah. Everyone gets beat up.
Thrown into the crowd.
Taichi and Marty Scurll start. actually, to be quite honest, with Marty Scurll getting the jump on Taichi, because this match, the tables, the turns were tabled.
I guess Marty Scurll watched the tape.
He, I don't know, did his fucking homework.
Yeah.
Saw Taichi literally jump every single opponent he's ever had. So, in the end, Taichi grabs a chair and jabs Marty with it repeatedly before finally throwing Scurll back into the ring. Score a near fall. When that doesn't work, Taichi throws him outside for a mugging before clobbering him with clotheslines once they return to the ring. Marty runs into a kick to the gut, but tricks Taichi with the just kidding super kick, with which I can't fucking stand. So Scurll sidestepped Taichi as he charged into a distracting Desperado that got a near fall, but a pair of head kicks took Marty down for a near fall too before he recovered to try for a chicken wing. Taichi elbowed out, then went for the eyes, only to get caught in a sit out over the knee brainbuster for a near fall. Taichi quit raking the eyes as he had his fingers snapped before he was pulled into the chicken wing. But the referee got pulled down. What do you know? Of course, Taichi tapped, but the referee didn't call it. Some more shenanigans, but this time Scurll super kicked his way out of a mic stand shot, threatened to use it on Taichi. This time the referee got up to stop him, which gave Taichi the opening for a low blow before a Gato clutch got him the victory. So Taichi wins, and he should have lost, point being. That was the story of that fucking match. Next up, we have Ricochet versus Jushin Thunder Liger. They started working over each other's arms before Liger tripped Ricochet into his seated surfboard with added rocking to get into a chin lock, only for Ricochet to escape and grab a headlock as we get another standoff. Ricochet keeps up with the submissions using an inverted figure four, then a Muda lock before Liger grapevined his foe's legs and went for a Romero special. Ricochet escaped and caught Liger in the corner with some chops before connecting with a 619 into the corner. Liger hits back though and almost shocked Ricochet with a roll-up before a tilt-a-whirl backbreakers escaped and met with a big boot. A Shote flipped Ricochet inside out as Liger smelled blood, but a Liger bomb was only good for a 2 count, as was a Thez press. Yes, there was a Thez press in this matchup. Ricochet comes back through with a roundhouse kick and a Benadryller for another near fall before a Uranagi flatliner puts Liger away. So Jushin Thunder Liger still winless in this affair. This tournament. Next up, we have Taka Michinoku versus Hiromu Takahashi. So, the funny thing about this matchup was that Takahashi was working face.
Yeah.
Literally the whole time he was up against anyone from Suzuki-Gun. And it's funny because Takahashi, a member of the Los Ingobernables de Japón, a man who cannot be governed, as it were, is in fact getting his ass whipped.
Yes.
So that was the funniest thing about this whole tournament, is that you get to see a guy who is basically a heel, but not really a heel in terms of Suzuki-Gun being heels.
Yeah.
They're just
not quite
assholes.
on that heel level. Yeah.
No, they're assholes. That's it. So Hiromu slaps in the early going just to earn a poke to the eye before Taka feigns a knee injury from a leapfrog. He sold the knee really well, though, but Hiromu saw through it and took a boot to the jaw before attempting to reply with a sunset bomb. Taka blocks it and ends up taking him back inside for a rear chin lock with some eye raking thrown in before wrapping Hiromu's legs around the post for a figure four. A regular figure four follows up on the floor as Taka tries to get a count out win, slipping back into the ring at the count of 15, but Takahashi beats the 20 count only to get caught in a bully choke as Taka tried to force a submission. Takahashi gets a rope break though, then escapes another choke as he drills Taka with a pop-up powerbomb. Taka keeps hurrying towards a victory with a super kick and a La Madristral, but not even his Michinoku driver can get the job done, as Takahashi powered back in with a clothesline before a time bomb picked up the win. So, nothing Taka threw at this guy worked at all, because Takahashi is the junior heavyweight champion. Yeah. So he should be powerful, as it were. Will Ospreay versus Dragon Lee. Now, you look at this on paper and you go, this has got to be a lot of fun. But this match started off very slowly. Very, very slowly. For two guys who don't work very slow.
Yeah.
But
expected flips right out the gate.
Right out the gate. But it started off really very slow, but before quickly cranking up the pace as they cartwheeled out of flips before a square off. So here we go. Ospreay reacts by lifting Dragon Lee onto the top rope. Then for forearming him to the floor, where he followed up with a shooting star press off the apron. Back inside, Ospreay lands an elbow for just a 1 count before going to an inverted cloverleaf in a bid to score a submission victory. When that didn't work, they exchanged strikes, with Lee scoring a diving leg lariat before battering Ospreay with a diving drop kick. We then go diving as Ospreay lands a tope after throwing Lee to the floor, but an apron enziguri cuts off a second dive as Ospreay instead makes do with giving Dragon a wheelbarrow suplex in the corner. So Will gets up, an overhead belly to belly, straight belly to belly. Belly to Bailey, no, never. Straight back as a receipt before catching Dragon up top with a cartwheel handstand kick. Ospreay kicks a Phoenix, or escapes a Phoenix Plex and turns it into a reverse Rana before throwing in a Revolution kick and an Os Cutter to book his place at the top of the group. And funny reading that now because this is the A block.
Yes.
So there's the top of the card here for the A block.
It's not quite the calamity that the B block is, but it's
everyone on the B block has a shot at the moment.
We'll get to the point at the end of this.
Are you upset by this outcome or no?
By the outcome of this match or the outcome
of this fucking block, B block?
That the fact that as we stand as of now that everybody is tied, but we'll get there.
We'll get there. He'll rant about it a little later on. So we have the May 27th in Ibaraki, Tsukuba Capio Arena. So another random gym. The B block is up to bat here in this event. First match is ACH versus El Desperado. The match starts off with some comedy stuff. ACH outsmarts Desperado when he hits him in the balls. If there's one thing I've seen a lot in this tournament, it's guys hitting each other in the nuts. That's for sure. They brawl in the crowd a bit. Desperado gets him back in the ring, starts working over his left knee. Will look like a good start for ACH, turns into complete bullying by Desperado. And you'll learn this as you go on watching Desperado matches. He's just a fucking prick. That's literally his gimmick. He keeps working the left knee repeatedly. ACH finally gets something going when he plunges to the outside. The crowd gets all fired up because ACH making his big old comeback. Gets some momentum going until he gets his knee worked over to knock him down and peg some more and to kill his comeback. Desperado worked the knee.
Yeah.
And you could say a guy worked the knee. This motherfucker did nothing but work the knee. Yep. And that was it. He didn't care about anything else during this match. ACH hits the ropes in an attempt for a clothesline. Desperado shoves Marty in the way to avoid it. Then he locks in a stretch muffler to further put torture on the knee.
Amplify the pain on the knee.
Amplify. Whatever.
You can't talk today, can
Amplify. Looked like ACH was going to tap as his left knee was getting demolished literally every step of the way during this matchup. ACH eventually comes back and wins suddenly with the Midnight Driver.
All of a sudden, he pulls out two moves.
Oh, out of literally nowhere.
Yeah.
ACH just won this match. And we both made the same comment. We watched this guy for maybe 12 minutes get completely wrecked and get his ass whipped and get his knee worked over.
He hits two moves.
Busts out two moves, and that's it. Yeah. Next matchup, Volador Jr. versus Ibushi. Bushi, not Ibushi, versus Bushi. Volador starts a match with his mask on. For some reason, has a mask on. Bushi never takes his shirt off. I put that down because he never does. There's a reason why, but it's very annoying to see a guy still wearing his entrance gear. Okay, that's like Okada wrestling
really
with his
sticks in your craw, doesn't it?
Really, that's like Okada coming to the ring in his wrestling jacket and never taking it off. They do basic wrestling things. Bushi really draws out a handshake spot. Then he Ranas him to the outside, proceeds to hang out in the ring to get a count out. Later on, they fight on the outside again. Volador takes over on offense. Bushi gets off a good springboard hurricanrana. Volador hits a backstabber, but only for a 2 count. Bushi hits a Spanish fly from the top, but only for a 2 count. Bushi puts him away with the MX finally for the 3. So Bushi goes over on Volador, luchas him, I suppose. Next up, we have Tiger Mask IV versus Ryusuke Taguchi. Taguchi offers up some respect in the opening of this matchup, looking for a handshake. Opens up the ring, or opens up the ropes for the guy. So a lot of respect going on in this matchup. Taguchi rolls around and pretends like it's a tactical move. So he did this thing where he just kind of just rolled around and would just stand up with his hands out as if to imply that he just did something very tactical, which it wasn't tactical whatsoever. They do some comedy stuff for a bit to pop the crowd. Tiger.
You totally missed the part where he's trying to get him to do the double fist bump before the
Taguchi fist bump.
Yeah,
it was comedy stuff.
Tiger Mask wasn't buying it, and then fucking Red Shoes is like, "Come on,
Red Shoes gave him the pound."
Yeah. And then Red Shoes is trying to encourage Tiger Mask to do it. He wouldn't do it.
Well, I included that in my. They did some comedy for a bit. That's what that was all about. Tiger backslide pins him after Ryusuke gasses himself out, which he did. He just ran the ropes by himself for literally no reason, got tired. When Taguchi tries to do some more comedy stuff, Tiger spin kicks him in the gut. Taguchi uses his rear end to do a bunch of spots, then has him in an ankle lock. Tiger regains momentum with a shoulder stretch and starts targeting the shoulder some more. Then he hits a Tiger Bomb for only a 2 count. Keeps attacking the shoulder. Taguchi locks him in the ankle lock, gets the victory after almost losing the edge by letting his shoulder get worked over too much. So it was funny at first. Tiger said, fuck this. I'm going to work over his shoulder and kick his ass. Taguchi goes, well, I better pop off the 3 moves of doom.
Yeah.
3 moves of Dodon if I'm to be victorious over Tiger Mask. So he didn't waste any time in securing the victory here over the veteran. Now we have Kushida versus Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and at this point, gentlemen, or ladies and gentlemen,
He won via ankle lock, by the way, Taguchi. You left that out.
what did I say?
You just didn't say how he won. He said he pulled out some
No,
moves.
Taguchi locks him in the ankle lock, gets the victory after almost losing the edge.
Yeah. Did you say that?
Yeah, gets the
I
victory.
totally missed you saying that.
If I didn't, maybe I did.
Yeah.
If I did, I'm sorry.
Either way.
Whatever. He won the fucking match with the ankle lock, as he should. Next up, we have Kushida versus Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and like I said, like I was starting to say, I have seen so many Yoshinobu sneak attacks and shenanigans from Suzuki-Gun that at this point, it was to be expected.
You'd think his opponents would watch the tape, scout the matchup.
I remember, and I do say I remember, this happened like an hour ago, but I should remember this. Looked over at Anthony and I said, I'm willing to bet anything Yoshinobu comes out and attacks him. I wrote the booking for this, apparently. He came right out and attacked his ass. So Kushida tries for a springboard elbow, but gets cut off, letting Yoshi go on the offense. Kushida ends up on the outside. Taka beats on him while Red Shoes is distracted by Yoshinobu because he had something very important to tell Red Shoes. Kushida sells a bunch, gets his ass whipped. Kushida tries to fight back with some stiff kicks, but instead he takes some eye rakings for his troubles. What?
Nothing.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
No.
You look like you were prepping to say something. Kushida storms.
Actually, yeah. Was this the match where they fucking grab Red Shoes and throw him in the corner? Is that this match?
I thought it was Marty that they did that with.
Maybe it was. I don't remember. It was one of those fucking Suzuki-Gun matches where they.
Well, if Kanemaru's out here, because Desperado did that. No, I think it was a Taichi match. That was Taichi.
Yeah, that's the next show. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that was a Will Ospreay match.
Getting all my shit confused.
It's not hard to mix up these shitty fucking Suzuki-Gun run-ins here.
They're all essentially the same match.
It's the same formula.
Fucking distract the ref, fight in the crowd, whiskey bottle spot.
Whiskey bottle spot. They actually drank it too this time.
Yes.
They finally whipped it out and actually took a swig of this time. So Taichi, I'm sorry, I'm missing a very fatal spot here. Where am I? Kushida storms back with a handspring elbow and a moonsault, only gets 2 counts. Starts working over the left shoulder to lock him into the hoverboard lock to take advantage of the shoulder. In the middle of spinning the hoverboard lock in, this was the spot that Red Shoes sold the absolute worst bump in referee history. Maybe not the worst.
This is worse than the Marty Skrull. The Marty Asami one from a couple of shows ago.
Jesus Christ.
When he got the graze to the head. This was worse.
So Kushida goes for these. He goes to what do you call that when you spin around the guy and you try to lock him into the arm bar.
I don't
Whatever.
know.
He did some lucha shit to get the guy in the arm bar. Let's just put it that way. But while he was spinning, okay, he barely grazed Red Shoes.
He grazed him with the tread of his boot.
with the momentum and the air of his boot.
Yeah.
He grazed him.
And the
Red
way
Shoes
Red Shoes sells
died.
Not even died. He he hit him. He didn't realize what was going on for a second. 2 seconds later, he grabs his head and then falls over. And was out of the match for 3.5 minutes.
He suddenly had a migraine and just collapsed on the ground. And it was so ridiculous. Whew. I don't know if Red Shoes and Marty Asami have taken bumping class for referees, but they need to get on that very quickly.
It's
because
not even bumping. It's the selling and selling on time.
He took it. It seemed like he got hit, and he almost forgot he was supposed to bump.
Yeah.
He was supposed to actually get his ass.
He was still in the match for like a second and a half, and then he's like, "Oh shit!"
He's like, "Whoops, I forgot. I had to sully fucking shit spot here." All right, so when this happens, Taichi comes out equipped with the whiskey bottle in hand, and he hits Kushida with it because, of course, Yoshi hits the jumping DDT, but somehow only gets a 2 count out of this. So Kushida kicking out of the old whiskey DDT spot, the classical.
Yeah, that old thing.
That old gimmick of the whiskey bottle. But that tells you one thing, because Suzuki-Gun's been winning with this shit. So, Kushida, when I watched him kick out of this, I said to myself, here he comes. Here's the comeback tour. Here we go. Because he's kicking out of shit he shouldn't be kicking out of. There was a failed heel spot where Taichi tried to spit the whiskey in Kushida's face, but misses entirely.
Yes.
Hits Yoshi, quote unquote.
He didn't even spit it at eye level, and kind of was selling it like it hit him in the eye.
Spit it at Yoshi's.
If it hit him in like the chest. Yeah.
It hit him in his chest, and somehow it hurt his eyes. Yeah. But hey, who am I to tell anyone where they should sell getting
all
whiskeys?
sorts of failed fucking interference fucking spots, like botch spots.
Welcome to New Japan house shows, everybody. Kushida hits the ropes, but it is met with a massive clothesline. Kushida wins it after a hoverboard lock, then a small package driver. Taichi tries to interfere, but funny enough, listen to this. Taichi went to interfere to break up the pinfall. I don't know why. He would have got disqualified, or it would have been a disqualification. But instead, my boy, Kitamura, stops him right in his tracks, which led me to say, why the fuck haven't they been doing this the whole time? Stopping them and, I don't know, getting the young boys to go, listen, this is not included in the rule book.
Well, maybe they're not really supposed to get involved, but Kitamura's just like, enough is enough, man. I can't deal with this anymore.
Telling you right now, everybody, Katsuyori Kitamura, the ace of Japan 2019. Get ready for the tour. Well, Kushida won the match, so here comes the comeback tour, everybody. And I think at this point he was 2-3, I believe, because he tied it up with Taguchi the next matchup.
So well, yeah, he's 2-3 after this match, yeah.
So he was making his he just won his first match. Then this one made his second match, and of course we'll get to the Taguchi match in a few minutes here. So that was the end of May 27th. Then up we have May 28th in the Gunma no Sunpia Takasaki. I'm not sure what that means in English, but that's exactly what it means in Japanese, and I'm sorry if I botched that. But this is the A block date, so this is all the A block. We have Ricochet versus Taka Michinoku. Surprisingly, no members of Suzuki-Gun on the outside for this.
For Taka matches, there really hasn't been
that
sort of shenanigans.
You know what? I like Taka because he's a dickhead, but he fights
he's an
on his
honorable
own.
dickhead.
But he's an honorable dickhead. You can't not like him. He fights dirty, but he doesn't need any help. Yeah. He's willing to man up and accept the responsibility of losing if need be, in exchange for some eye pokes.
Yeah.
They do some chain wrestling, which is a surprise coming from a Suzuki-Gun member. But I shouldn't be surprised because it's Taka Michinoku. A few minutes into the match, after refraining from doing anything dirty, because he didn't do anything dirty for about 3 minutes, finally got to him. Taka finally eye pokes him and starts raking and fighting dirty. Then he works him over a bit, has him in a crossface, bullies him around. Ricochet gets back into it with a guillotine on the ropes and then a neckbreaker following that. He does a standing shooting star, and Taka's hurting very badly at this point. So Taka Michinoku getting worked over here by the young Ricochet. Taka locks in the crossface.
He was quite over with the
he was very over.
The young crowd. There.
Lots of Ricochet. Rico. Someone called him Rico.
Yeah.
I'm going to start calling him Rico. Taka locks in the crossface before Ricochet kicks him a whole bunch of times. Very, very hard in the face. And then he wins it with the Benadryller. So Ricochet wins over Taka, and I believe Taka at this point was mathematically out of the tournament.
Yeah. And for sure he's mathematically out. He's 1-5. He's got 2 points.
Nice. Well, the B block's certainly a fun place to be at this point. I thought the A block was going to be the premier block here. I mean, they have the better wrestlers, but B block's looking pretty competitive at this point. Everyone's got a shot here to get into the playoffs.
Playoffs?
Jushin Thunder Liger versus Dragon Lee. The match started off pretty standard, as it should, until Liger puts him in the rocking surfboard lock. Lee reverses it into the same exact move. So he put it on the Mr. Liger here. They brawl a bit. Lee drop kicks him to the outside, then topes over the top rope. Liger tries to get back in, but gets kneed right in the face, and another count starts up. Tension builds as Liger gets back in at the 19 count. Then Dragon Lee ends up on the outside, also sells a 19 count. They love these 19 counts, by the way. They love these spots.
They abuse the shit out of them.
True story. If I worked in New Japan and someone told me I could stay on the outside for a solid 18 seconds, I'd be like, fuck, sure.
Yeah.
I'll take a nap. No big deal.
But to be fair, they count the 20 count faster in New Japan than
Well,
WWE counts the 10 count.
To be fair, they start the count very late, too.
They also wait for you to be outside for like 5 minutes before they start.
They give you a good grace period of about 30 minutes to be on the outside. Then they start the count up when they feel, at the referee's discretion, of course. That discretion is the big word here in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Liger goes up top. They exchange some blows until Lee hits the hanging double stomp, which is his finisher, to put Liger away. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He hit the hanging double stomp, and then he hit a jumping coup de grace. Yeah, the coup de grace. So he did it.
He popped a fin.
A double stomp times 2, I suppose, to put Liger away. So Liger, done. It's over with.
Liger was done and over with two matches.
So Jushin Thunder Liger's final Best of the Super Juniors tournament, and he goes out winless. And you know what?
Well, he's got one more match to not go over. So
I don't know. I think he's gonna take the donut. He's gonna take the donut. He will gladly take the donut and just call it a day because I don't think anyone really wants. Liger could lose a bunch, and everyone's just gonna be like, he's old, and you know what? He's Liger. Whatever. We don't give a shit. We have another A block match. Well, these are all A block matches. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. Will Ospreay versus Taichi, and gee, folks, what do you think happened in this match? Take a fucking guess.
Just copy and paste all of our other comments and messages.
I should. I remember distinctly watching this with my laptop, which was very hot on my lap. And I said to myself, you know what? Why do I write any of this stuff down? Why do I continuously put match starts on the outside? Guy gets beat up. Suzuki-Gun member, whoever it may be, attacks said person. It's the same shit every single time. So Taichi beats him up with the mic stand, as per usual. It wouldn't be a Taichi match without the mic stand getting involved.
Yeah.
Beats him up on the outside. The other guys get involved. Will sells the neck that Taichi wrapped the stand around on the throat. The neck, I said, the throat that he choked him with. Or he choked him around the fucking throat. You don't choke somebody with your throat. Taichi then challenges him, telling him, try to hit me, brother. But instead, he just rakes his eyes. Some more shenanigans go on. Desperado visibly grabs Red Shoe's head to distract him from Taichi's, or I believe it was Taka. No, might have been Yoshinobu. Who cares? Someone from Suzuki-Gun was on the outside, and they were supposed to gang up on Mr. Ospreay. So what do you do when you don't want the ref to see this action go on, this tomfoolery occur? Well, you just grab his head and you stick it in the fucking turnbuckle pad. And then it was funny because this was Red Shoes, right? So Red Shoes gets thrown into the turnbuckle by Desperado, grabs him by the head, by the way. He didn't gently, guide him to the turnbuckle. He grabbed his head, just put his fucking face in the turnbuckle. And Red Shoes, usually an official will go, hey, what are you doing? You're out of order. Get out of here. Red Shoes goes, well, gee, that hurt. What are you doing, Desperado? That hurt, my friend.
Not cool, bro.
How could you? I have a match to call. Desperado goes, listen, it was all just a coincidence. A big fucking coincidence.
Sorry, dude, it was just a prank.
It was just a prank. Hey, come on, Red. It was just a big prank. Taichi beats him up on the outside. Will eventually fights back. Suicide dives to the outside on both sides in the ring to take out Taichi and Desperado. So it was Kanemaru. Now I remember who it was. Crowd loves it a lot because it's about fucking time somebody did something against these assholes. Taichi shin kicks him a bit, gets a 2 count. The pants come off. Taichi misses the kick that he hypes up the big super kick by ripping off the the pants. But he can't hit it. So he goes for the last ride, but Ospreay counters out of it. Will hits a shooting star press. Red Shoes gets pulled out before the 3 count. So as if there wasn't enough shenanigans, have some more.
I wonder what it takes to get a disqualification in this fucking promotion.
I don't even think if you stabbed one of the refs, you'd get disqualified. Yeah. They might just go, listen, it's okay. Just don't stab me the next time. Will goes for the Os Cutter, but Taichi
start counting them out until they drop the knife.
1, 2. All right, it's enough. It's bloody. Give it up. Will goes for the ass cutter, but Taichi super kicks him right in midair. Goes for the Gato clutch, but only gets a 2 count. Hits him with the mic stand, followed by the last ride into a jackknife pin, and gets the victory. So once again, the evil Taichi gets on the board with another W. What's his record at this point?
He's 4-2. They're both 4-2 at this
4-2.
Yes.
Awesome. Taichi, 4-2, and all 4 of those victories probably due to the mic stand,
Or the bell hammer. Or the whiskey bottle.
Or the whiskey bottle, or virtually anything else that he could get his hands on.
Or a combination of all the above.
So the next matchup, Marty Scurll versus Hiromu Takahashi. Both guys try to out-wrestle each other in the early going. Hiromu tries to go for the sunset flip on the apron to put him on the outside, but Marty staggers and holds up, eventually knocking him off. They brawl on the outside to a 13 count when it should have been a 30 count.
Yeah.
I remember, I think this was the match that I counted for.
Yeah, you counted to 20 before the count even started, I think.
So this was a straight-up 30 count before they got back into the ring. Marty goes on the offense and works the left wrist, beats him up a bit until Takahashi tries to fight back, but the left wrist is hindering him. He hits a head scissors and drop kicks him to the outside, which looked very, very vicious. So this was the running drop kick from the apron, and just fucking...
Yeah, he fucking flew. Yeah.
Just fucking killed himself. Ass first on the mat. Hockey fight ensues in the middle of the ring. Hiromu super kicks him. Marty bounces off the ropes with a clothesline. The way he hit the ropes after getting hit here, the way he bounced off of that super kick, it looked so goddamn fucking phoned in.
Yeah.
And I remember calling this out. It just looked so slow and very unconvincing. Yeah. Marty has a standing...
Is it worse than fucking Dean?
No.
Yeah.
Nothing's worse than Dean Ambrose's fucking clothesline. The lunatic lariat, I'm sorry. Marty has a standing chicken wing locked in. Hiromu fights out of it. And then he hits the time bomb for the victory. So Takahashi gets another W in the column.
I thought overall this match was pretty solid. I mean, the time bomb looked weird when he hit it, but...
Started off decent, and it got better. It got a lot better. These guys worked a lot, together than they've done.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but there wasn't a finger-breaking spot in this match.
No, there was not.
And
there is a God in heaven.
You know, Marty Scurll is kind of enjoyable when he's not fake breaking fingers.
However, he did do something that's very believable. He worked the left wrist of Hiromu Takahashi, which was very acceptable and good logic here in wrestling. So now we have May 29th in the Korakuen Hall, the final date that we have up to date at the moment, since there's a show tonight.
Yes.
This is all about the A block. So we got done with the B block. Wait a second. I'm missing a match here, aren't I? No.
No, you're good.
No, I'm up to date.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I skipped
the A block.
date.
No, we're going to the... Yeah, we're going to the B block. We're done with the A block.
Okay. Sorry, I thought I fucking missed the date here.
Nope, you're good.
May 29th, Korakuen Hall. Tiger Mask versus El Desperado. Does anyone want to phone in and guess what happened here? Real quick. Would you like to call a hotline or a lifeline, I suppose? Anything, any kind of line? Because anyone would get this right. So Desperado attacked the motherfucker from behind, of course. Beats him up on the outside. They brawl in the crowd. Basic Desperado stuff. Tiger hits a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker on the good knee that was not getting worked over. I noticed this and I said, at least this company has logic when they sell things. Marty takes a bump. I believe Tiger Mask was going for a backstabber. And I think Desperado pushed him off. And Marty took a bump. The first actual legit bump we've seen from any of the refs.
I like how in this bump, he gets hit like square. But the previous two bumps, the one he took and the one that Red Shoes took where they just got grazed, they were out for like 5 minutes. This bump where he's hit square,
he's right back up.
He bounced up in like 30 seconds.
The whole spot meant nothing.
Yeah.
It was for nothing. Because Desperado, I don't even think Desperado, to my knowledge, I don't think he did anything very dirty or even tried to do anything dirty. It was just a ref bump for the sake of ref bumping. So Marty gets bumped. It doesn't last very long. Desperado locks in the muffler stretch to work over the left knee once again. And I believe that's Desperado's MO in every single one of his matches. Works the left knee, then puts in the muffler stretch. Not a bad strategy. His move's the muffler stretch. You work the knee. Tiger gets to the ropes. Desperado keeps going after the mask from Tiger Mask. Tiger hits a Tiger Driver, but only for a 2 count. He hits a Tiger Suplex and gets a 3 count. So Tiger afterwards teased ripping off the mask of Desperado. And at this point, I'm sitting there as a spectator, and I said, fuck it, do it. I don't give a shit about this guy. I don't care what happens to him. Do it, Tiger Mask. Please, for the love of Christ, take this fucking guy's mask off.
He's too much of a babyface, though. He can't do it.
He's too much of a babyface. Write this shit down. He's too much of a babyface to take off the mask of Desperado, whose whole gimmick is being a complete cocksucker and ripping everyone's masks off. It's bullshit. This was his comings up, okay? This was the revenge we've all been seeking. It lied in the spirit of Tiger Mask, and he failed us. I'm gonna have a talk with Gato and Jado about this one.
Yeah.
This booking is just atrocious. So we have the next up match, Yoshinobu Kanemaru versus Bushi. What do you think happened during this match? Oh, I don't know. Bushi got attacked from the back. No big deal. Same shit. They fought in the crowd. Bushi leaps off of an exit area. They fought way into the crowd. He lays out Yoshimaru, and then Yoshinobu. I compared his last name and his first name. He gets back in at the 16 count. Kanemaru's DDTs him on the floor. Bushi does some stuff, because that's what I wrote. He does some stuff, because at this point I was not invested in this match because of the way it started.
Yeah.
Works over Yoshi. Bushi goes for the MX until Yoshi counters it and hits the scoop reverse DDT. Marty gets bumped and dies once again. Kanemaru tries to spit some whiskey in Bushi's face. Doesn't pan out very well for him. Bushi wins with the MX that Yoshi sold ridiculously. He leaped into the next century with this fucking bump. It was actually pretty damn good.
It was probably Rock selling the stunner-esque.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but there's no other matches on this card remaining that have the Suzuki-Gun members, but they all lost.
Yeah.
They've been losing a lot. So Tiger Mask went over on Desperado, and Bushi went over on Kanemaru here. So the two biggest dickheads in this whole fucking faction went down here at Korakuen Hall. So all that bullshit on the road meant nothing, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry. Volador Jr. versus ACH. ACH tries to be courteous and shake the hands of Mr. Volador Jr., but just gets kicked in the gut because he's a fucking nerd, and that's kind of that's what happens to him.
Yeah.
AC tries to go for a tope, but is met by a shin kick. Some flippy stuff happens between both men. Volador topes to the outside. Then he clears the front row to apparently do something. Apparently, something was supposed to occur here. They cleared the front area. This took gotta be like 10 minutes to get this area cleared up. And then when he has him in the crowd, he's on the floor. ACH is on the floor for some reason. Volador looks at the ref. He looks at Red Shoes and he puts his hands up. Red Shoes goes, "Hey, you got to get in the ring." This was a very confusing situation. I had no idea what was going on. Yeah. They spent all this time clearing the front row for something, only for ACH to just lie on the ground like he just died, and Volador to just casually get back in the ring like nothing happened whatsoever. So Volador gets back in the ring, looks very confused. Eventually, this was supposed to set up the spot where ACH does the 3 straight suicide dives. And at this point, I'm already gassed out on lucha shit. This was the final straw for me. Okay, I saw there was a bunch of flippy shit, and then ACH did 3 straight suicide dives, and I was just like, okay, I've seen too many high spots at this point.
I think he did like 5. It ended up being like 5 that he ended up doing.
Whatever. Yeah. To my knowledge, and this is just a guy with a mic who's a spectator, but a suicide dive does 0 for anybody. If anything, the guy doing it hurts them a lot more because it could, I don't know, make them shorter because it'll impact their fucking spine. Yeah. But other than that, what does it accomplish? Can you tell me?
Well, if you hit him square on, it's like a leaping spear.
But you're jumping and then you put your hand. But they're doing it safe these days. They just kind of like put their hands on their chest.
Suspension of disbelief, bro.
If anything,
do you see how far back Volador would go back every time?
Yes,
he dragged the young lions.
But to me, this just looks like an awful lot to get a hard push out of the way. Just push the guy. It's the same shit.
To be honest with you, most high fly moves
don't accomplish much.
Don't really do much. They're just for show,
and that's why we don't watch lucha stuff. So that's that. Eventually, they get back into the ring. The match has slowed down significantly at this point. They're just kind of like selling the whole outside spot thing, and it was just like, well, what's going on here? ACH is visibly selling the ribs, so he ends up doing a 450 and injuring himself further. Nice. ACH pulls off the pad, goes for the lariat, and he hits it, but Volador no-sells the living shit out of it. And when I say that, I mean he got hit with the big running lariat that he does, the big lariat that he takes his elbow pad off for. He just got up and just fucking kicked him in the face. Super kicked him.
To be fair,
right in the
ACH
mug.
didn't really sell that kick that long either, so.
Wow. Volador goes for a high spot, but ACH super belly to bellies him. Then Volador hits a super Hurricanrana and gets the victory. So Volador Jr. goes over on ACH here. And he joins the fray of the B block. The cluttered fray of the B block.
A block. Oh, yeah,
No,
B
this
block.
is the B block.
I lied. I wrote the blocks wrong when I wrote the points down. I'm an idiot. Yeah.
Good job.
Yep. I fucked up.
Final match of the night. And this was quite a treat. Because when you've been watching 1,000,001 Suzuki-Gun run-ins and 1,003 brawls in the crowd, and what else can I think of here? 1,001 spins and flips from ACH or from Ricochet and Ospreay that accomplish nothing.
Yeah.
We got to see a wrestling match between Ryusuke Taguchi and Kushida.
A wrestling match of high quality.
This was so awesome, and this was a very, very enjoyable match. And this was the last match for us.
Yeah.
And I was invested.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed this.
This match was great from beginning to end.
Wonderful, wonderful match. The best match during this tournament, I have to say. So there was no comedy during this match, as a matter of fact.
Not really,
Zero
no.
comedy. This was all between two guys who just want to get ahead in this in the standings here. That's all it was all about. Kushida needed to tie it up. Got to get back in the tournament. Taguchi, a chance to take first place.
Yeah.
So this match had a lot of
Plus, they're arguably the two best wrestlers in the block. So.
And they both had something to fight for here. Yeah. So it wasn't like, well, this should be a serious match, but we're just going to do some tomfoolery. No, this is a serious match. And yes, I use my ass a lot, but I'm going to hurt you while I do it. That's the point here. So some good mat wrestling started this off. Kushida tries for the surfboard lock, but Taguchi gets out of it. Good, solid match so far. Not much to really write down because there's a lot going on.
A lot of quick chain stuff, switching from hold to hold. It was really neat to see.
Very, very hard to catch up with all this stuff. Taguchi goes for a hip attack and knocks Kushida to the outside. Goes for it again off the apron, but gets locked into an arm bar. They get back in the ring, and Kushida stretches him a bit, put him in an extremely awkward submission. A submission that, if you had to describe it, was a lot of things. It was an arm bar.
It was like a hammerlock. It was like an arm wrench.
It was like
a half body scissors.
It was a lot of things put together. Okay, let's just put it that way. Kushida has him in a hanging double wrist lock until Taguchi hits a Three Amigos suplex. I believe he hit the Three Amigos. I don't know. Maybe he might have hit Two Amigos, but I think he was going for the Three Amigos here. They go to the outside. Taguchi works the left knee, tries for an ankle lock, but Kushida frantically gets to the ropes. Kushida hits the Dodon that was countered very beautifully. Taguchi tries for a springboard hip attack, but he gets countered into an armbar, then Taguchi reverses it into an ankle lock. Kushida does the same. That gets reversed into another armbar. They slap each other around for a bit. Kushida delivers hard shin kicks at Taguchi, but then Taguchi comes back with an enziguri. Ryusuke winds up. Okay. Yeah. I was wondering why I wrote this down. He wound up and punched Kushida in the fucking gut.
Yeah.
Very, very hard.
It's the Kushida wind up fastball spot that Kevin Kelly and Steve Carino. I almost call him Stephen Colbert. Stephen Carino used to call the Tanaka.
The Tanaka. Awesome. But I noticed during this, when he did the spot, that Red Shoes looked at it and said, "That better not have been a fucking closed fist, Taguchi." And Ryusuke goes, "No, it was a palm strike, dickhead." That was a lot of fun for me to watch.
I really appreciate matches like this that have a lot of meaning to it and are good back and forth when they steal each other's moves, like the wind up, the punch, and Kushida did the hip attack.
Well, apparently matches between two friends is a lot more entertaining than a match between not two friends.
Yeah.
Taguchi finally steals one of Kushida's moves by using the hoverboard lock. Then he hits the Dodon, but only gets a 2 count. Ryusuke hits the Bombaye ass, then locks in the ankle lock immediately afterwards. Taguchi tries for another Dodon, but it gets countered. Kushida eventually locks in the hoverboard lock. Taguchi gets very close to the ropes to get in the rope break. Kushida notices this. He says, well, fuck that. I'm not going to let this dickhead get to the ropes. So he rolls him into the center, hits the small package driver for the victory. Excellent match.
Yeah.
This is not the finals, but it damn sure felt like the finals.
I have a hard time seeing a match beating this one.
This was A+, awesome. And you know what? I've been saying this lately because now I'm fully engaging in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I've watched it here and there in the last couple of years, but I've never really like barreled down and watched any of this stuff. I've always been a fan of Taguchi. He's just a funny dude.
Yeah.
He's a lot of fun. I desperately want that fucking track jacket. If it wasn't 6,000 yen, maybe I would have got it by now. But he's a lot of fun to watch. And I've seen a lot of use of his ass in this tournament. But this was an excellent fucking wrestling match by a guy who's supposed to be hilarious.
Yeah.
So he's funny and he can fucking wrestle. So this might be my favorite wrestler in the world at the moment. And he uses his ass.
That's a lofty statement. I don't know if I'm ready to go that far.
It's a lofty...
But I do enjoy.
Won't go
Taguchi,
that far. I won't go that far. But he's definitely in the top 5. Let me put it that way. He's a lot of fun.
He's no Ryback.
No, not at all. Not at all. And he's definitely no Bray Wyatt. Those guys are just way better workers than he is. But overall, this was just a phenomenal match. And if you don't watch anything on the house shows, watch this match. If you just want to watch the Kirk and Hall stuff, which is, you know what? Might as well. You're not missing much on the house shows. But this was the first big, awesome match that if I had to rate it, I would give it 4 stars. I'm not going to go 4.5. Some guys do go 4.5.
Yeah.
This was a very solid...
I wouldn't argue either way.
Yeah, whatever star you give this, as long as it's not a 2 or a 1 star,
it was a
it's
great
definitely
match. It was above and beyond the best match on the tournament so far, and I have a hard time seeing any match beat it going further. I mean, I guess if Ricochet and Ospreay meet, or Ricochet and whoever, but it's gonna be flippy shit. It's not gonna be flippy
match.
shit. It's gonna be a lot of flippy.
Because here at this desk, okay, in the basement, shaped like a studio, okay, or the studio shaped like a basement, we love wrestling matches, stuff that is just psychological and just working body parts and chain wrestling and all this stuff. Because I noted about 10 minutes into this match was like 22 minutes. About 15, maybe 12 minutes into this match, I said to myself, and I said to you too, I said, these guys haven't hit the ropes once.
They were barely outside. There weren't any high spots.
No high spots, barely any ass attacks.
Yeah.
This was literally 2 guys wrestling each other for a good solid 10 to 12 minutes. It was amazing. And it's a fucking breath of fresh air in this fucking tournament, which we've seen 8,000. Like I said, I could go over the Suzuki-Gun stats. Definitely a breath of fresh air here. After the match, they showed each other respect. They shook each other's hands. Kushida cut a promo. Don't know what he said, but I'm assuming it was somewhere in the ballpark of this guy worked me over pretty well. Taguchi probably, I think he had a post-match interview in the back, and he gave him consideration and said, I'm glad he represents Taguchi Japan. So they are stable mates, which is funny because they don't feel like a stable. It's just like an off stable that Taguchi just decided to create to get guys who don't have stables.
I mean, throughout the last few years, Taguchi and Kushida have kind of always been out there for each other's matches and stuff. So
this was a lot of fun. Awesome match. Great stuff. And so we have tonight to look forward to. And then we have the finals on the 3rd, right?
Well, we have tonight, we have Thursday, and then we have the finals on the 3rd, yes. And then Dominion, which
is
will
the next
have
Sunday.
The winner face Takahashi.
Dominion, a lot of good
or
stuff.
Takahashi choose.
So you think Takahashi's going to win this?
I don't know if I think he's going to win it, but I think he's going to be in the I think he's going to be the final.
Either way, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, before we end it or anything, let's go into the what the point standings are.
Go ahead.
Yes. So for the A block, this one's not quite as a mess, but we have a 5-way tie for first place. All with the record of 4-2. We have Ricochet, Will Ospreay, Taichi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Dragon Lee, all 4-2 and have 8 points. In 6th place, Morty Skrull is 3-3 with 6 points, and then 2 guys mathematically out. I think Skrull is technically out of it too, but
thank God.
Which caught Taka Michinoku is 1-5 with 2 points, and Jushin Thunder Liger is 0-6. with no points. And then in the B block, the calamity that is the B block.
Everybody
in the B block. ACH, Volador Jr., Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Tiger Mask, Bushi, El Desperado, Taguchi, and Kushida. All 3-3 with 6 points.
Yeah, I have they have a little a chart here on the New Japan World 1972 website. And yeah, man.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
So I don't know how I feel about the tournament coming down to tiebreakers. I mean, I don't know if I like.
For some reason, they don't have the total like from top to bottom like you normally do.
Yeah,
it's just Liger up top.
It's the chart of them going down and the chart of their opponents going.
Yeah. So it's not really like. So you look at the total, but so far, you got a 5-way tie for first place. Yep. So Taichi,
but at least it's tight and it gives this.
Yeah,
it gives the last night some intrigue, or last night for both blocks some intrigue.
Marty's out.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I think I said on the last show, and I've been talking about it. I think Kushida's making this comeback. So I think he definitely needs to win his match, and I think he needs ACH to lose his match to move on or to win the block. And a couple other things. I should have wrote it down, but there's.
So if you look at the chart here for Group B, I believe you could see. Where do you see? You could tell who they haven't wrestled yet.
Yeah.
Bushi hasn't wrestled. Oh no, they wrestled. They all wrestled. Oh, he hasn't wrestled Tiger Mask yet.
Yeah.
So Bushi hasn't wrestled Tiger Mask. Yoshinobu hasn't wrestled Desperado. Desperado, same for Kanemaru. Volador hasn't wrestled Kushida yet. So we got a lot of matchups here that we got to take care of. Tiger Mask and Bushi, like I just said. Taguchi and ACH. God, I hope Taguchi goes over. I like ACH and all, but Taguchi's my fucking boy. And ACH is, ACH. But
and plus, need ACH to lose, so Kushida has a shot to win.
That's true. Well, that's all we got here for what we've got right now for the New Japan, or for the Battle of the Super Juniors. Or Best of the Super Juniors. I like to call it the battle for some reason. It sounds better. But we'll see you guys whenever all this stuff that you want to get together, you want to save up for the finals.
Yeah, we'll probably cover the rest of it later.
So we'll lump everything up into the finals and get caught up with that. And then we got Dominion to look forward to. So we got a lot of New Japan stuff coming up.
Plus,
for myself.
Plus some PWG at some point, too.
Plus PWG. So a lot of stuff to go over. We have the hideous WWE shit to go over tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to that, but we do it anyways. And
we have Extreme Rules on Sunday, too.
Barf. Don't even care if I don't watch it.
Yeah.
Don't even really care, honestly. But anyways.
Let Tyson do the show by himself.
Yeah, please. So anyways, we'll see you guys another time. And enjoy the Super Juniors. Take care.